UK. How are you doing from wherever you are listening? It's Friday and we can say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. How has the Friday been so far in your area? Yeah, I'm sure you're doing so good. Yeah, the day is not over yet, so you can still be productive before the day runs out. So thank you so much for joining us on another wonderful edition of the show. As usual, every week we come with issues in respect of your mental health, and sometimes it's all about suicide prevention. Yeah, generally, we want you to stay mentally healthy. So you're in the right place at the right time, because this is the MHAASP show with KP on MZ Radio London and AP Radio UK. I am not alone in the building today. I've got a guest in the house with me. I'm going to reveal who she is. Okay, I've given you a hint already. She's a she. Okay, so I'm going to do that very soon. But before that, I want to say a happy birthday to one of us on MZ Radio London, and also a family all on AP Radio UK as well. Yeah, and that's the person of Joy, Saliu Osun, and she's one of the voices you normally hear. That she's an OAP on this two radio stations. So, Joy, wherever you are, if you're listening, I'm saying happy birthday to you, long life and prosperity. And one more birthday shout out. Yes, today is also the birthday of my guest dad. So I got to know during our conversation today, and I said, yeah, I'm going to give that a shout out. So Reverend Shodipo, happy birthday to you. I want to say long life and prosperity. Keep soaring to greater heights in Jesus' name. So Dad, happy birthday. So I'm sure I will have enough cake after this show, either e-cakes or live cake or whatever it is. So I am anticipating that already. Thank you so much. So if you have somebody who isn't listening to the show yet, just go per that person that the show is right on. We're ruling the airwaves. MHAASP show with KP. Yeah, like we do say it. KP in the building. Yes, I'm in the building. And yeah, we're going to talk about something so important today. And what the topic is, nutrition and mental health, the correlation. Nutrition and mental health, the correlation. And my guest today is a final year student of Bowen University, Osun State, studying nutrition and dietetics. She hails from Ogun State, and she's a nutrition enthusiast who is passionate about people's health and well-being. She counsels and gives advice to people on healthy living and how to maintain optimum nutritional status. She's a Christian and lover of children, as well as volunteering for community improvement and poverty alleviation schemes. She's currently working on a project titled Evaluation of Knowledge and Perception of Organic Fruits and Vegetables among Students in Bowen University. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MHAASP show. None other but Toluwalase Shodipo. Tolu, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, so good to have you. And once again, I'm saying happy birthday to Dad. I'm sure I'll get my piece of cake after the show. So I have seen the passion you have when it comes to nutrition. And I said, our listening audience will have a whole lot to benefit from you. And that's why we want to discuss something that centers around the correlation between nutrition and mental health. Now, for the sake of our large spectrum of audience that we have, we're going to start from the foundation and assume we don't even know what nutrition is. So the first question I'm going to pose to you will be, can you briefly tell us what nutrition is? Tolu.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. KP, for giving me the opportunity to talk to everyone about mental health and nutrition, the correlation. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, good evening, everyone. Okay, so what is nutrition? Nutrition is the study of nutrients in food, how the body uses them, and the relationship between diet, health, and disease. It also focuses on how people can use dietary choices to reduce the risks of disease and other non-communicable disease. This nutrient provide nourishment to the body. Nutrient plays a great role in our daily life. The food or liquid affect our body and health because each food or liquid contains nutrients, which is very necessary for our physical and mental health. And so we have two major classes of nutrients, the macronutrients and the micronutrients. The macronutrients are the nutrients that are needed by the body in large quantities, while the micronutrients are needed by the body in small quantity. Examples of macronutrients are the carbohydrate, protein, fat and oil, and water. Examples of carbohydrate are bread, maize, rice. Examples of protein are beans, meat, fish, egg. Examples of fat are vegetable oil, the palm oil, we have coconut oil, and so on, and water. It's very essential to the body. And so why do we need nutrition? It is important in management. Anyone that wants to reduce weight or increase weight, it is nutrition that is very essential in that aspect. It also helps in protecting one from chronic diseases like non-communicable diseases, like I said, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases. Nutrition can help to reduce the risk of this kind of diseases. It also strengthens the immune system. Vitamins and minerals are responsible for this, help in strengthening the immune system. It also delays the onset of aging, makes one healthy and fit. To also support mental health and well-being. Eating right foods can actually make one happy. Nutrients such as iron and omega-3 fatty acid found in protein-rich food can boost the mood. It contributes to better overall mental well-being and protects against mental health issues.
Wow, that's absolutely wonderful. I mean, like people normally say that you are what you eat. So from what you've said now, it definitely validates that, and then also the fact that it prevents a lot of diseases also shows how important our nutrition is. But the question that comes to my mind right now is, now how do I figure out, how do I know the right nutrition for me, the right nutrient, the kind of food that befits me? Since we are different somehow, so is there a way that what would benefit me might be different from what would benefit you and someone else? How do I know?
Basically, I'll start from the foundation. How do you know what to eat? You need a well-balanced diet. A well-balanced diet is a diet that contains the 6 classes of food, that is carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, minerals, water in the right amount, right proportion. A diet must contain 6 classes of food. If it doesn't contain, that means you're not eating the right food. Also, yes, it must be in portion size, be in portion control. Because you're hungry does not mean you should consume a large amount of food. It must be nutrient dense, it must contain the required nutrient for your body. And also, there are nutritional requirements for different age groups. So I'll start from babies, 0 to 6 months. Baby needs only breast milk at that age, at that specific period. The mother's breast milk is enough alone to feed the baby because it contains nutrients, contains carbohydrates, contains protein that are needed for the baby to grow well. Yes.
Yeah.
So no water is needed, no supplements, no other things they give. So it's just breast milk for that age.
Yeah. Okay.
So 6 months to 2 years, at that time, we start introducing complementary food. Complementary foods are like family foods, regular family food, like the amala, ewedu, rice, and beans. But they should be given in small quantity, and they should be cooked in such is soft. The baby can easily digest them, not always yam. Don't give them yam, or they still need soft food at that age. And alongside breast milk. Because why we said they need food, because at that 6 to 2 years, breast milk alone is not sufficient for them. So they need other foods to complement the breast milk that will make them stay healthy. And so the first 1,000 days of life is very essential in the child's life. If the child is not given the proper nutrient, the child might not grow well. The child will become malnourished, that nutrition or overnutrition. Overnutrition when the baby is too is too big for the weight and age. So it's too big for the age, while undernutrition is when it's small for the age.
Okay.
So 2 to 12 years, they are 2 to 6 years. These are school age children. They go to school, and so they are very active at this age. Their energy requirement is a little higher than that of a child that is 6 to 2 years, and so they need of energy. They need fruits and vegetables to help them repair, to boost their immune system. You need more proteins to help prepare one tissues, because when they play rough, they just fall and then they will injure themselves. So if they eat all this nutrient-dense food, it helps their body to grow well. And they need that proportion in small amounts, instead of giving them junk snacks like Capri-Sun, biscuit, and substitute for
pies.
Yes. Okay. And we have the adolescent. The adolescents at this age, we can group them as teenagers and adolescents. At this age, the boys have different needs. Like the girl now needs more iron because of her menstrual period. She begins to see her menstrual period, so she needs more iron. She needs more carbohydrate, protein, basically all different. And so the guys too need more of calories, because they get muscle, they work out, they do more activities. So the aged ones, they need fiber, they need little amount of food that they can easily digest, because at that age, most of them cannot chew well. They have one problem or the other, so it's not easy for them to eat well. So we need to give them food that are palatable, that are pleasing to their size, digestible food that are rich in fiber, because fiber aids digestion. So like vegetables are an example of food rich in fiber. They need to take more of that vegetable at that age.
Wow. I mean, you're saying a lot of things that I'm sure a whole lot of people will be getting some things down, because some of those things are things that we bypass, I mean, people just want to eat, and not knowing that it's the right way of doing it that will definitely benefit the body. And then, just like you said, different stroke for different folks, depending on the age and depending on what you want to achieve. Now, we're going to go to, what is now, we're narrowing it down now to mental health. And I'm going to ask how nutrition, how it affects the mental health of individual. But we're going to just take a musical break. When we come back, we will do that. The song of Shenwe Benisa is right here.
He'll see you through what you're going through and pull you through. Station on the Hill, MZ Radio London. On the Hill, MZ Radio London.
MZ Radio London, welcome back. This is still the MHAASP show with KP, and we're having Toluwalase Shodipo talking about mental health and nutrition, the correlation. Now, before that musical break, we said we're going to talk about how nutrition now affects mental health. Tolu.
Okay, thank you. The brain is made up of millions of cells, which are called neurons. All that we do, our thoughts, feelings, and actions are dependent on the interaction of this cell, which is possible by chemicals called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are the body's chemical messengers and constantly work to keep our brains functioning, managing everything from our breathing and heartbeat to our learning and concentration level. Neurotransmitters are directly affected by the quality of our diet, the foods that we consume or do not consume. So the food that we need and do not consume are the ones that we get from our diet. Disordered behavior directly affects our brain and function and mental health. That is, okay, so these neurotransmitters are the ones that send the brain message and all, and our nutrition affects these neurotransmitters. So if we do not eat adequately, the neurotransmitters will not send the adequate message. We will tend to get messages very slowly. Our brains won't function well as they are meant to. Our attention span will be very low. We tend to be moody, and we will not get what we're meant to get. So we need to eat well. We need to eat right for our brains to function as they are meant to function. Disordered eating, disturbed and unhealthy eating pattern that includes restrictive dieting, those ones that diet disorder, it's a disordered eating pattern. So if you're dieting, it doesn't mean you should not eat adequately. You need to eat the right food. Then skipping meals, like a lot of people skip breakfast maybe because of their tight schedule or they are always busy with something. You should not skip breakfast. Breakfast is an essential and important meal of the day. Breakfast helps to like the word implies breakfast. We are breaking our fast, the one of yesterday. So we need to eat to be able to boost our mood and to replace the nutrient that has been used. And so that is why say breakfast is very important. You don't have to eat rice and beans early in the morning. You can just get coffee or oatmeal or bread. Something simple to eat. It does not necessarily have to be an heavy food. It's just a light food. Just to make sure you eat something. Even if it's a cup of tea, breakfast is very essential. This doesn't mean you should now get all this roadside meat pie and all these junks. No, can get fruit instead if you cannot easily get bread or something. Just get fruit. Just make sure you eat something, no matter how light it is. It's very essential. And so, how do we know when our body does not have the adequate nutrients? We have physical symptoms, just such as less energy, reduced heart muscle mass, lower heart rate, blood pressure, get a lot. Our attention span is low, get cold all the time, have fatigue, hair loss, our skin isn't looking fresh. Let me use myself as an example. If I don't eat in the morning, I get so moody. If you even come to me, I might just transfer to you. So these things actually affect. And when our body gets used to not eating breakfast, the body just adjusts to not eating. The body just adjusts to the fact that okay, you don't eat breakfast, and it's very detrimental to the body. You can get a lot of non-communicable disease from there. So we should watch what we do. Make sure we eat breakfast at the right time. You don't say okay, you are just eating breakfast at 1 o'clock. That's not right. So eat breakfast between time of 6 to let's say 11 a.m. That's the normal time for breakfast, and you have your lunch 12 to 4, and your dinner from maybe 5 to 10 or 5 to 8 p.m. So, like I was saying, physical symptoms, we feel cold all the time. We are very sensitive to noise and light. Then we have the emotional and cognitive changes. These are like we get depressed easily, we get anxious, we get irritated easily. Any little thing just like affects us. Our moods are always fluctuating. We have negative emotions. We have increased rigidity, and like our alertness is reduced. We don't get things as fast as we should. And so for students that are listening to me, please make sure you eat breakfast. This is very essential. Not only students, everyone actually is meant to eat breakfast at the right time. So that eating is linked to a reduced ability to cope with stressful situations, as well as an increased incidence of suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Research has found that starvation has widespread and profound effects on mood and cognitive functioning. Severely restricting the amount of food eaten can be very dangerous. And when starved of food, the body responds by reducing the rate at which it burns energy. The human brain operates at a very high metabolic rate, using a substantial proportion of the body's total energy and nutrient intake. Without proper nutrition to fuel our brain, transmission and function of our brain is less vulnerable. So starvation impacts us physiologically, psychologically, cognitively, and socially. It can lead to serious health complications and affect all areas of human function. Thank you.
Wow, that's so elaborate. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been established and proven, and you have also reiterated it over and over again how nutrition is linked to optimum performance as regards mental health, physical health, and our general. You to just give us your social media handles if people want to reach you, and then we round off the show.
Sorry, what do you say?
Your handles, your social media handles.
I say it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Facebook, my name is Toluwalase Shodipo. For LinkedIn, Shodipo Toluwalase. My WhatsApp number is 080 71 377 344.
Okay.
Let me take it again. For Facebook, Toluwalase Shodipo. For LinkedIn,
Okay.
Shodipo
So,
Shodipo.
thank you for coming on the show today. Thanks to everybody listening. And we want you to join us next week for another wonderful edition of the show. Till then, I will say to you, stay